What's up, my brother? How you feeling, man?
Doing pretty well. Welcome to the show. It's an honor to have you here, WSJU Radio, St. John's University. Just a little background about yourself before I really give you this intro is that I want people to know that you are from hip-hop royalty, cool DJ Red Alert's son, of course. You're also the cousin of Craig Mack.
Thanks a lot. Absolutely. Okay.
How's it feel to come from such hip-hop royalty?
It's a gradual honor. You know, as a kid, when I was younger, I didn't really understand what was going on. You know what I mean? I wasn't that aware of what I was growing up amongst.
Mm-hmm.
And as I've gotten older and I've gotten more inclined with the culture, it's. Do you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I've gotten more inclined with the culture, and it has just allowed me to be more appreciative of what I'm a part of. You know what I mean? Of the grind and of the craft. It normalizes a lot of things, right? So it's a lot of things that I've been exposed to from the culture that, you know, most people do a lot of things to be in rooms or be and have a relationship with the type of people that I've been fortunate to have the relationship with. So, you know, it's definitely a unique experience. It had its ups and downs. You know, when I was young, it wasn't really that fun. You know, had a lot of I used to be called Little Red. I used to have people want to give me their mixtape, want me to get my pops to listen to it. And they, you know, it got really tough when, you know, there was music that wasn't that good and they wanted feedback the most.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that became kind of, and wanting to find my own identity in that was a real important part in my hip hop story.
So how old were you when you really started rapping? You can hear me good?
How old was I?
Yeah, how old were you when you really started rapping? Yeah.
Yeah, here you go. My first rhyme was in sixth grade, and the first time I wrote, I really so I was in eighth grade, and a professor of mine had, you know, not a professor, he's a teacher at eighth grade. I was doing a book report, and I asked the teacher if I could turn my book report in as a rhyme. Can I rap about it as opposed to an essay? And my teacher's name was Phil Bildner. He's an author now, and he was he thought that was dope. And that was my first time really kind of learning that I could take what I see in my mind and put it into, you know, rhythm.
Mm-hmm. It's in your blood, but what would you say was the main inspiration? Was it because your dad was involved with the music industry and especially hip hop?
No, my main inspiration wasn't even that. It was just expression. Really, it was I had three friends, right? It was four of us that made a group. We used to call ourselves the Wave Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
This is all high school. We used to call ourselves the Wave Brothers, and we used to have little 4-bar intro rhymes that kind of flowed together. And it, you know, we was just it seems corny. Seems corny now, but it was little things like that. In my man Preview, he was for what I understood, he was a pretty successful young artist at the time. He was doing a lot of things. He was in the industry of music, so they inspired me. My pops taught me law of the land. You know what I mean? My pops showed me how to move and how to keep your name strong and your credibility strong. But he was a DJ. You know what I mean? I didn't want to DJ. I wanted to learn how to DJ, but I didn't really want to DJ like that. More so I wanted to rap. So I was inspired more by my friends, and so my pops is responsible for the starting of the first native tongue groups, Jungle Brothers. They rapped, you know what I mean?
With Q-Tip, yeah, right?
And Mike G and Baby Av, artists, the rappers, more so. They inspired me. I was inspired by heavy DMX and 500 Degrees, Lil Wayne, and my way. I mean, the way I am, Eminem. Like, I was inspired by like really like rappers like Mace and shit like that. And then my friends, um, it's different levels of inspiration. Though my love changes based like where I get to in my, in my experience or my career. So
Yeah.
it was like my friends in school, and then it was like when I got to Maryland, it was a big culture in my high school, the FDA and all of that. Dougie Fresh Sons. I started hanging with, becoming more acquainted with Dougie Fresh Sons, and they were like really like doing a lot of like recording and actively putting out music. And for me, that was like the first time I got to see it real. Like, that was the first time I got to realize like, oh, okay, I write rhymes and stuff, but this is what it looks like to record. This is what it looks like your own music, or we can do this ourselves. You know what I mean? And that's what really like the drive for me. This is when, I got to see it firsthand in front of those stations all my life. Been around Angie Martinez, to Wendy Williams, to some of your favorite rappers on signing days, or when they come to the radio. I haven't been around that so often that not what excited me. It was like performing and like the creative process. And that's what I really got into once I kind of like went into college, and I just started recording myself. And that was my inspiration. I was playing basketball before that. I wanted to play ball. I didn't really even, like I said, I was trying to find my own lane when my pops was at his biggest. It kind of annoyed me because people didn't really see me for myself. They just saw me as like Red Alert Pops, Red Alert son, you know what I mean? And that was good. It was an honor, but you kind of want more than that.
Yeah, because
If
people
you're
are only
anything
going to
like
look at
me.
you as Red Alert's son, and they're not going to look at you for you, MiMs.
Yeah, and it's like, to a degree, it's okay. It depends on how we're introduced. You know what I mean? If I meet you that way, it's okay to know that, but I don't want it to be necessarily the first thing I have to say in order for it to have any meaning, me to have any meaning to anyone.
Yeah, that's the main thing. It's something that I think you're in a better position is that you're not a direct rapper of a hip hop artist. You know, I mean, your father's a legendary DJ, but there's a lot of hip hop artists out there whose father is also legendary. Look at Chris Rivers.
Yeah, it's because you kind of get judged based on a scale of how good of a rapper his dad was. For
Yeah.
me, it used to feel on a legendary note, but not on a rap note. You know what I mean? It's kind of like he brought me in the culture the correct way. Like, honestly, I don't say much about it, but I'm technically already considered a native to Kidda, Zulu Nation, and you know what I mean? I've been on like ciphers with Talib Kweli to Just Ice, to all of the hip hop legends that you could think of, and especially the native tongue era, from Praz, from De La Soul, and Special Ed, and all of these people. I done rapped with them, been on stages with them, before them, after them, on like same time with them. I've kind of been enshrined in the culture already, regardless if I never, I don't know, regardless if I ever sell a record or get a label deal or not, I'm already a part of the culture. So, now I'm just shooting to leave legacy with people, to leave music that connects with people, that tell my story for those who may not know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. What's
And
interesting when I did my research
I
on you
guess
is
after
that
that,
when you were in high school, you were kind of hesitant on really for showing your lyrical skills and even telling your family members that you rapped.
so listen, in FDA, like, I went to a highly like talented school for hip hop. Like, if I'm not mistaken, she would, if she was there, she would have been like a senior my freshman year, which I may have not known her, but I was there. I don't know. Indy went to FD. She's like reality TV, but she's in the Charles Hamilton with the FDA. My boy Audi Rob, who's also supposed to Jackie. It was just a lot of rappers there, a lot of artistic people, a lot of dancers. So like lunchroom was like the empty bottle can and making a beat on a, and you had the rap, you had the freestyle, you had the dance battle, you had to do something. If you was in the entertainment, like if you was somebody like that, if you had a talent like that, you had lunchroom. It was hella competitive. And I guess that was the first time I felt the pressures of, damn, I'm Red Alert Son. I can't go up there and rap nothing whack. I can't go up there and say nothing. You know what I mean? So it made me, my job was like, damn, I don't want to be a guy. I don't want to be the guy that everybody battles and they want to try to battle me and come up off me. Like, I didn't want the target. I wasn't ready for that part. And sports like shit. So that my high school also had a recording studio inside of it. So what I was fortunate, I didn't have to battle nobody or do any of that shit. I just was in the studio with people like Charles Hamilton and my favorite high school rapper was Versatile. His name was Versatile, aka BA. You know, I used to just be in the studio and learn from them. At the time, Charles Hamilton was really hot. That's how I even like Free Max B and my man Max B. That's how Chris I like he also roots of the game. And you know, that's just really how. That's why I was so shocked, because I was just like, damn, once I come to the people that I had to expose me rapping to were already like big league people. So it was kind of like, damn, this is not like, yo, I rap and telling somebody on my block. It was like, yo, I rap it, I'm telling the program director for really a radio station. I rap it, I'm telling this to Flex, or I'm rapping, I'm telling this to Red, and I'm telling this to Fred Bugs. Like, I'm telling this to people that have heard some of the best artists, and it made me want to like, let me work. Let me make sure I know I can rap up and down, left, right, forward, backwards. Let me make sure I know that I'm sure about this before I start flaunting myself to people. You know, I always fail to talk about the fact that my booking agent growing up was his name is Terrence Dean. That's Swiss Beats Pops. And what happened was I used to be in a lot of I used to be extra in a lot of like movies. So I was in like the movie called Black and White. I was in Summer Sam. I was in like music videos like How It's Going Down with DMX. I was in another video called Kings and Queens, although I don't remember the artists from back in that day. I was young and I got checks for these videos, not like just like how now we're in like it's in the video, you know what I mean? I had like checks and like credits for these videos, even if my back was shown, like I got paid to be in these videos and shit like that. So I used to be in front of the camera a lot. I wasn't really shy about the camera on stage. I just was kind of like the opinions of my peers in school, kind of like I just wanted it to be about things that was associated with me that I can fully control. I didn't want anything to weigh on my pops being a hip hop figure. So I kind of shied away from it. Did it outside of, although I wish if I was in FDA now, I would do it all over again and I would have stood in front of that fucking, excuse me if I'm cursing, stood in that lunchroom and rapped on top of the table and let everybody know that nobody could fuck with me. You know what I mean? I would have done that because I'm just, no offense, no one, but I'm sure of that now. You know what I mean? And I thinking about it, I probably was better than everybody then if I just was brave enough to just go out there and rap. I was always pretty good. Like I always realized I knew how to do like use metaphors and similes in a beat way. You know, some people are good. Some people are like good battle rappers. They can rap a cappella, but can you do it to music? Could you do it to a beat playing? Could you do it and keep people head and eye and keep people interested? That's where the, you know, to me the true gift is found, right? So you know, when I got to college though, I started doing like battles. I went to St. Bonaventure University.
Okay.
I wanted to go to St. John's, by the way.
Oh, you did?
I mean? Shout out to. Ended up going to bench. I wanted to stay in New York, and I walked on. St. Bonaventure University.
What position did you play for basketball?
Guard. I was a guard.
You're a guard?
I definitely was a guard. I thought I was like Allen Iverson and Ray Allen, same body. You know what I mean? I wanted to be an off guard. I should have done more. Took being a point guard a little more seriously. I probably could have gone like at least a step further in my basketball career, but basketball was great. I was a guard. I went to FDA. I played on a great team. We went to the Myrtle Beach tournament. I played against the likes of Danny Green. I've played against Brandon Jennings. I've played against Sebastian Telfair. I've played against J.R. Smith. I've played against several basketball players, man. I've played against a lot of players coming up in high school and stuff like that. I was very fortunate. I had a very dope basketball experience with for one that's in a situation where all odds is against me. I started really taking high school ball seriously my junior year, but I was pretty good, so I made bars pretty fast, and I came in right on time, just where we.
Here we go again. Oh, there we go.
Yo. Damn, I was talking. I don't even know how much you got.
Yeah, I got everything with the basketball players and.
Damn, I was talking. I don't even know how much you got.
Yeah, but, I got everything with the basketball.
Yeah, man, I play basketball. Yeah, I don't know what part you heard last.
Yeah, I heard the last part is just everything with the odds stacked against you. You had all the opportunities.
Yeah, as far as basketball, I kind of played with the odds stacked against me. But that's everybody's story where I come from, honestly. You know what I mean? So I don't ask for no excuse. I don't ask for no sympathy. It's a lot of people that play ball and had tougher odds against them. So, you kind of learn to live with that and make it what you see it worth, right? So I know if right where I'm from, I live right across between Frederick Douglass Projects and Martin Luther King Projects and others. But I have a friend that went to Douglass Projects. He's a small person. He never, not that I can recall. I played basketball with him when we was young. He was always a small person, and what I learned is that he never played high school ball, never played college ball, but he's a web star, a web celebrity, and known world through the web as a basketball player because he never really gave up on his talent. You know what I mean? No, he didn't go the college route, but when I was the tail end, I was born at the end of the 80s, so that's the tail, 80, 87. So that's the tail end of that whole narrative of, if you don't make it to the NBA out of college, it's over. Now you can go on YouTube. Now you can promote yourself in so different forms and facets. Now you see Brickley. Now you can be a professional dunker. You can be a professional dribbler. They got professional shooters now. Nobody told me that when I was coming up. Yo, listen, even if you don't make it to the league, you can still make it to the league. You know what I mean? Players are gonna want private professional shooters and professional trainers and professional health nutritionists and all of this shit you don't even have to go to school for. You could just promote yourself on social media, and if people believe in it, they will buy into it.
Yeah.
No one told me that when I was in school, when I was in college. It was, listen, everybody don't make it in basketball. You need a plan B. Go do math, go do bit like that so that you don't make this. Now, listen, there's no telling how you can make it. You know what I mean? J. Cole's about to put himself in position to try out for an NBA team. You know what I mean?
The Knicks can maybe get their star.
So, right, right. The Knicks. Shout out to the Knicks. And that's it. So I just kind of am a perfect like symbol of sports and like hip hop, because I really grew up doing them both, and they have like real profounding like effects on my life. My pops played ball as well. He went to Fordham. I think he played D1 as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, sports are big, and really it's big in the culture here. Being from Harlem, we connect on so many levels through sports, and I just think it's so often that. Did you see the Dipset commercial?
Yeah, when they're on the Madison Square Garden court with the Knicks gear. Yep.
Right. People don't get it mistaken. People think that like sometimes like some of our greatest rappers they didn't just become great rappers, right? So somebody like Cam and Mace, their stories are forever. It isn't just music, right? They played on the same high school team in the Garden. That means that's a high school championship game, right? They're
Yep.
from Harlem. They're from a small place called Harlem. You made it to the Garden from your high school team. Everybody freaking knew who you were.
Yeah.
You was playing basketball, represented the city. Like, you're at the Garden. You know what I mean? So they have, you know, sports and hip hop have such coinciding like stories. Like, a lot of the people that are popular because they were doing something else, and they were known for something else, and they was able to turn that life into lyrics to a great song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that matters. You know, your backstory, who you are beyond beyond music, it matters. And sports is the perfect segue into music, because we go through so many like trials and tribulations, so many like examples of camaraderie and pushing yourself and your will. So, you know, I just think it was a perfect fit. You know, like right around like 2000, and when I was a business major and I took all the school stuff in, but I didn't finish my degree. I stayed in college for like 3 years. I got tired of studying billionaires who dropped out of school to become millionaires. And I just, you know, once I learned that I could, as a business, I don't need a degree to get an LLC, to start a corporation. I don't need a degree to run a business, to no degree to be an entrepreneur. I don't need a degree to do anything that has to do with being the head of a business. So I started just jumping into business, and you know, I have my own LLC. I'm independent. I was signed to Tommy Boy, Warner Brothers. That was a cool experience, but I decided to leave the brand, and I've been in situations where like I've been on radio since like 2010.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Look at my name. That's a fact. Like, that's not the last time. Like, almost like every year I've had a song at least play on major radio a good number of times since like 2010, and just wanting to spread my music and connect to people, and letting people find out about who my pops is later has been like a longer road, but it's been really progressive in the sense that people are connect to me for me now. You know what I mean? When they see me, it's don't forget the dollar sign. It's MiMs. It's not that's red alert.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I've been grateful wanting to know my story and wanting to tap in, because like even like I watched like growing up hip hop, and it's no slight on none of them, but I feel like I really grew up hip hop. Like that metaphor that they're using in growing up hip hop is really like my life story. No, like there's some luxury involved, but there's some struggle parts involved too. It's a little bit of both worlds. It's like a real look behind the curtain, because my pops is a DJ. It has to deal with so many different personalities and so many different relationships. You know what I mean? I know what it's to grow up and wall to wall his records and playing. I used to take his records and play them on like the vinyl mixer and try to like scratch his shits up, and you know, getting at his like plaques and wanting some of my own. I just got my first plaque, by the way.
Congratulations on that, man. That's the big thing I wanted to cover tonight because that's huge. Not every independent artist gets their own plaque.
Start talking away, man. Just forgive me, man, if I,
This is your interview. This is your story, man. If you want to take it away, you can lead. You're the guest.
I want to know what you want to know as well, though. So I'll make sure I cover that. But yeah, I just got my first Plies independent artist. I'm blessed to have been a part of Fred the Godson's catalog. So at some point in my career, I come across a guy named Laurent. Shout out to my boy Els. He's a merchandiser. He used to be a merchandiser. I don't know what he does specifically anymore. I think he works a showroom. He runs a showroom now in Vegas. But he was a merchandiser, and he had like a lot of connects to help me kind of connect my dots outside of my pops, right? So he understood my mission was to kind of gain relationships or grow the relationships that I already have on my own credibility. And what happened was he started ushering me into through his door of the game. Mm-hmm. And I came across meeting like people listeners from the Heat Makers, Gray Rizzy, and Fred the Godson. I had already met through different avenues because he's honestly family to my pops. And my pops side of my pops, forgive me, I don't want to mistake it. I don't know if it's my pop's father or his mother's side, mm-hmm. but Fred the Godson's family, like kind of like married into my pop's side of his family. So me and Fred the Godson always, had a liking for took well to one another. He's older than me. He's more close to age to my older brother Rob. So a lot of people used to connect me to my brother Rob because my brother Rob is really like the super hip hop artifact because he was the one that was like on the album covers with my pops back in the day. See, I was too young to be around for all of that. I was around when my pops was like on Hot 97 and he had like Old School at Noon and the 5 o'clock free ride and it was like a couple of years before Power 105 just started. That's when I was like junior high school. It was Hot 97 when my pops was doing all like the videos and he was in bringing in all the artists and everything. That was like Kiss FM days. Yeah. And a lot of people used to ask me if I was my brother Rob because he used to do all the promos. He was known. He was known, man. My brother Rob was older than me. He was around a little bit more when hip hop's the way you can move around in the game was a little different. You know what I mean? It was an example. There was no like VI. There was no bottle service. You feel me? There was no bottle. You know what I mean? Like, like there was no like. It was more like everybody was in population or VIP. There was VIPs, but it was just a little different. The culture was a little different than when I came up.
It was better music.
Yeah, and the music was but see, the music was so classic because it was so raw. It was, first of all, it was also, the type of work that was put into making the music back then, like we have it at the click of our finger. You know what I mean? Like mix a song and retake a take, redo a take, a recording take in a matter of seconds, whereas back then you had to get this verse right because ain't no more tape left.
Yeah.
The last tape you'll record this until later. That was a different era, you know what I mean? So the music came out and people appreciated it so much more, you know what I mean? Because it had to mean something. You put in all this work for it. It had to mean what you wanted to mean. You know what I mean? Now music, we could put it out, delete it, do it again, redo it, pull it up on several different computers. I go on your computer, pull it up from my house, help you record. You know what I mean? Like it's so accessible now that we almost take it for granted. You know what I mean? It isn't easy. I wouldn't use the word easy. Easy is thrown around too loosely. It isn't easy. It takes time to learn, even on a computer. But once you learn it, it becomes very like way more less time consuming. So you know what I mean? It's just faster.
Yeah.
And just a different eras. But I met Fred from being around the Heat Makers and being fortunate and blessed enough to kind of have the Heat Makers groom me and like Arsonist mentor me. I've been fortunate enough to be in the studio with a lot of like great people through Arsonist, including him, Fred, Jim Jones. Been around for a lot of like the recording process for I'm gonna say Diplomatic Immunity 2, Wasted Talent, El Capo 1 and 2, Fat Joe, Splato, Plomo, so all the way up and everything. Like I was playing 2K with Fat Joe while he was making All the Way Up, and Remy Ma was.
Oh, that's wild. that's wild.
But NBA 2K with Joe. His team was OKC. That's back when Westbrook and Durant was still together. And for that whole album, I was around for his Family Ties album. Everything up to Family Ties too, I was around for a lot too. Fat Joe has always been a big supporter of me, especially with my pops. And you know, he credits my pops blowing up his career. And a side note, like Fat Joe's first single, Flow Joe, used to be my pops. It started as my pops promo on radio, and it became such a popular promo that it became Fat Joe's single.
I didn't even know that. Yeah, let him flow, Joe. Yeah.
Gotta let it flow, Joe. That started out as my pops DJ promo, and it became so because my pops is so huge that it became Fat Joe's, and Fat Joe has never like really like looked back since then. So, you know, that's another like cool story. And you can fact check me, Fat Joe will tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, who knew that songs that me and Fred did would lead to him receiving, well, me receiving a plat in his honor. You know what I mean? And in his name and stuff. I'm honored because I just know how hard he worked. And that's probably my biggest inspiration to date right now is Fred, because I seen him just work so hard over and over and over and over again. I seen 6 songs in one day, like 6 songs, 6 in 6 hours. You know what I mean? Like, and I seen him make money as an independent artist. I seen him kind of show me kind of how the hustle of the game works, even without a major label. And it's important for artists to know that, because artists don't really know how much money. Like, you know, music is an invisible, tangible.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So you have to, but it's an asset it's an asset in the form that it doesn't really depreciate. Music doesn't really depreciate either. So you set your worth. You know what I mean? You set your own worth, and you kind of got to make it grow from there. And if you can do that, it makes your worth that you set creditable. You know what I mean? The value that you set creditable. And, you know, that's, to me, how it all comes together. If you really want to pursue this music thing, you know what I mean? You have to gauge what you feel like success is for yourself, because, you know, success for me isn't necessarily being known by the most important people in the world. I just was on Clubhouse, and like, Mace was my favorite rapper. You feel me? I've never really even met him, right?
Mm-hmm. Harlem World is classic. Yep.
And I've been around him, but I've never formally met him. And I was on Clubhouse, and he told me he listened to my freestyles. Oh shit, you listen to me? You know what I mean? Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm honored. You know what I mean? You heard me? Yeah, I'm honored. You know what I mean? And shit like that is what music is for. You know what I mean? But what I'm gonna say is, a lot of people die and kill for an important person to hear their music, and that's not the end all be all. You know what I mean? Do you want to leave a legacy? Do you just want to make money? Then fine, just make some money and go ahead. You know what I mean? But people like me want to make money, but I also want to leave a legacy. I want music to be around that tell a story. I want people to hold on to and covet like my music. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be the microwave shit. And
yeah.
now we forget that song was even out. You know what I mean? I don't want people to be like, oh, I remember this. Nah, I want people to still be enjoying the music as if it came out, you know, last Yeah, or you know what I mean, or recently in recent memory, I wanted to. I think that's an undervalued approach to music. You know what I mean? We want that passion. We want that one hit blow up, and that's cool too. That's great. Listen, it's great if you could do it. You know what I mean? The second I get opportunity to do it, get a record that blow, I'm out of here. I'm for it. But also I'm for it because I know I did the groundwork and I know I did all of everything else is going to check out for me. And what has happened, and like I said, after meeting the Heat Makers and all of them, I have just been fortunate to be around a lot of creatives and work with them and collab with them. So I've definitely sowed my seed in different places so that when the blossom happens, that, you know, I'm a part of it. I'm in that garden. Right now, I've been kind of just working on my project, which is called Don't Forget the Dollar Sign. I'm going to break it up into like 3 pieces. And I put out a lot of singles this year. And shout out to anybody and everyone out there that supported any of them. Check out New Flavor, Big Bag, Wrong One, Something Beautiful, Put It On Everything, No Love. I put a lot of records out and put videos out, and I got a lot of good feedback. And I wanted to just kind of just do singles this year, just to give people to get a feel of, well, what what do people like? What part of my music is fitting a demand or can create a demand? And you know, I love all the feedback I've gotten. I've loved all the energy that I've really just been getting nothing but good energy. I did a native tongue tour, a small native tongue tour with my pops and the Jungle Brothers about last year. And I was like right when I came back off the tour, I was invited to go to Flex, do the Funk Flex freestyle.
You murdered that one, yeah.
Thank you. And I wore the Knicks, and I donned the Knicks. The good.
Yeah, I know. I respect that you wear the Knicks stuff because I'm a Knicks fan, even though we've been terrible for years. But
not a Knicks fan, but tell you the truth, Knicks color scheme has always been my favorite color scheme. As a kid, orange was like, I just think they go perfect together. So I've always been like a Knicks secret supporter. You know what I mean? I definitely don't get the Knicks unless they play against the Lakers. And that's the only time I root against the Knicks, honestly. And that was a really dope situation. And then like right after that, I ended up getting like the Billboard, AT&T Billboard. And I got that just from, you know, I was a part of a record called New York Shit with my man Jay Prezi, Harlem Beans. And that record really kind of like took off for us. It afforded us opportunity to go on Dave East's tour. He had what was the name of this tour?
Was it the Survival Tour?
No, it wasn't Survival. It was the one before Survival Tour.
Trying to think.
Was it Survival? I got it. It was in December. It was December of 2018.
So I'm trying to think what came out then from Dave. Was it Beloved with Styles P? Was it the Beloved tour? Was it?
Beloved had probably just came out.
Mm-hmm.
Beloved had probably just came out, but he wasn't on tour for Beloved. It was right after Beloved. It was around that time.
Paranoia 2? Was that it?
Might have been that. But we was on. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name because I kind of know East personally at this point. You know what I mean? To me, it's all this. I'm just supporting my bros and being. Guys, forgive me if I don't know name. He puts out a lot of music. He does these fucking workhorse too, so it's hard to remember all of the names. But I was on tour with him, me, Jay Prezi, and Beans, performed New York Shit, and that made a really good crack. We was moving around, and you know, that led to the AT&T Billboard. Once they kind of learned who I was individually, they wanted to kind of like tap into my culture and what I've had in my story. Once they learned that, like, who my pops was, and that, you know, I had already kind of had a presence of my own. I've been on like Sway in the Morning. Shout out to Sway. Shout out to the DJs, man. Shout out to all the DJs. I'm not gonna lie, I've been on so many platforms, and I'm talking.
Slay.
Slay, Sway, Flex, Rosenberg is a big supporter of mine. Fucking, this goes on, man. I done did everything from like the DTF internet radios to the like I done went to college radios. I done did college battle. I done did the what was the other? This the other circuit. It's another KTU, not KTU. One of them other internet joints. I done did the Hot 97s, the Power 105s, the Shade 45s. You know what I mean? I'm shout out to all the DJs on all the platforms, man. There's so many of them, man, that have been important to me getting exposed to big platforms. You know what I mean? I've been on Summer Stage. I've been on VH1 stages with it for the MTV. They did the MTV reunion for what was the show they used to have on MTV? Yo MTV Raps.
MTV Raps, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I've been, regardless if I ever gets promoted like on a mass scale or not, like I've had a hell of an experience. It's a blessing, you know what I mean? I get up and I can record every day, any day, you know what I mean, among some great people, among some great creatives on a daily basis. And that has been like the most satisfying for me, you know. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, you ask me next question so I don't go off and just keep blabbing
up. I mean, your Craig Mack tribute, when did you get the idea to make the tribute for your cousin?
So I had always wanted to. I have had several like pictures from when I remember being around him when I was younger. Craig Mack was opted into my family, into my family name, my grandmother's name with the Mack family. He was always like a big inspiration. I knew he was pretty. When I was young, I knew he was pretty famous. I understood him to be pretty famous with like, him in all the videos so prominently in the videos. And it was just about until when I found a producer that flipped his record in a way that made me bounce. You know what I mean? It didn't seem cheesy. It made me bounce. It was really about the production, finding the sound that, sorry.
Oh, it's all good. Yep.
Finding a sound that really connected with, you know, just the way I was on a record. That's the only thing that ever had affected it. And when my man Disco Black, I went to the studio and I don't know if I seen the file name or whatever, he played it and I was like, yo, you speaking to my soul right now. I need, you know what I mean? Let me do my thing on it. And shout out to him for giving me that record because that was a dope one. I was able to shoot the video. So now what happened was when I shot the video, that's when I started to really want to pay homage. Like I was like, okay, I want to shoot it like, I want to go to where's that globe at? I know the one on 52nd.
Oh, the 50. One in Queens. He was at was it at the one in Queens?
Take me to the globe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The only thing that I didn't get to do was go into the museum that he got another part of it in the museum. That's the only part I didn't get to do. But I wanted to reenact the video. I wanted to go to Queens. I wanted to go to Flushing Meadows. Go out there and fucking drove a fucking drop top through the fucking park before the police got to, and they didn't even mess with us. They let us finish and everything, and that shit was kind of fire. So it meant the world to me to be able to especially release that around a time where he was being celebrated for his life, for his contribution to hip hop in March, and in January, I put it out. And that put out January, March, one of those months on top of the year. But I definitely know I had it out during a time that was relevant to him, and that's what meant the world to me. You know what I mean? Nobody had any discrepancies with it. It was, it was neat. It was respectful. It was tasteful, and that's all I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Make sure I pay homage. You know what I mean? As far as I can go with my career, I want to make sure I know where I came from, and that's it. Send some respect up to my man. Send some love up to my man, and let him know that he left a mark on me, even though I was young. Left a mark on me, and I'm older now. It's just like, hey, this is what's going on. This is who I am, and this is where I came from. This is what I carry the torch for. And yeah, man, I'm just glad that to see it like manifest and touch and connect other people, and people find it to be dope. Is still like, sometimes it still hits me. You know what I mean? When you work as hard as I do, or you just work hard, period, you don't take the time out to celebrate and appreciate the accomplishment or the progression.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. So I'm gonna tell you the truth. Another story. I'm gonna tell you. You got me thinking about you. I used to do college radio.
Oh, you used to? Okay.
Bonaventure. A part of when I first started rapping in Bonaventure, right? But when I started recording myself with Bonaventure, like learning how to record myself, going to studios on my own, not just like, oh, this is my high school studio. I'm going in there when Charles is in there. I'm going there when someone else is there. I went to college and learned about the music program. I didn't really study music, but I just got cool with some music kids. Sat and, really, what people don't know is like, in college, you can go sit in other people's classrooms. You might not get no credit for the work, but you can go sit in another classroom. So I started sitting in the music classrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up on what I needed to pick up on, like, for shit like Pro Tools, and I forgot what it was, the programs were back then. It was Pro Tools, but it was another one, like a Logic type shit, like Fruity Loops, one of them shits I learned how to use, and started recording myself. And I had a radio show. And I used to go on at night. I used to do like the hip hop Friday nights. I used to do the shift like right before people was going out to like the bars and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Because I wanted to still have enough time to go to the bars too. So, the bars are like 2. So I had to, I watched my radio show ended like 11, like 10, 11. So at least I know I'm talking to everybody while they're getting dressed, while they're doing their homework. And then, that was kind of cool. I did radio for a while. I couldn't commit to it because Bonaventure is really cold, and traveling from my dorm to where the radio show was that shit sucked. So yeah.
Did you ever bring any guests onto your show?
I just really brought college students on my show. You know what I mean? I never really got a chance to. What happened was, all right. So it's weird, right? So I wasn't like, other than like the Division I scholarship athletes, like the Tyler Ralphs, the Ahmad Smiths, and it's a couple other people, right? Shout out to my boy Zarion Ferretti and AJ Hawkins. Shout out to my boy Chris. Lethal Shooter? Lethal Shooter. You've heard of him on Instagram?
Yeah, I've heard of him on Instagram.
Yeah, locked in. He went to St. Bonaventure as well. He was on the
okay.
And shout out to my boy Perry also. And other than them, like I was like one of the popular kids on campus already. So it was nobody for me to interview. People just kind of wanted to hear me talk with my friends. You know what I mean? And talk about shit that. Then my boy Diddy became his name is Diddy. We nicknamed him Diddy, but his name is Jarrell Hughes. He ended up taking over the show and made it a sports radio show, a sports like hip hop show. And he was far more entertaining because he like was a bandwagon.
Oh, God, here we go.
Whoever was winning, and he asked people on, he gambled, school gambled, and he made it entertaining. He turned it into that. So no, like it was it was hard to have guests because it was so fucking cold. I don't even think we even ever really had a guest performer that was like in hip hop. Like honestly, it was like me. Like I battled. One of my first performances were in the college, and it was like it's like showings, like everybody was there, you know what I mean? Like for a little while, me and my circle was like the light of the town, you know what I mean? And it's like, and like honestly being black was very like rare in that town. You know, I was like maybe 3%, literally. I mean, I might be giving too much percent. Like if you were black, and it's fine. You know, what I mean, I just I'm very open to all cultures because I went to places like Bonaventure and everything. But it was like on HEOP, you had a scholarship, or your family had money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason that you was an athlete, you had HEOP, or your family had money. That was it. That was the only reason why you was going to Bonaventure. Maybe 2 or 3 black kids had like academic scholarships. There was actually a 15-year-old college student and black girl that was on campus. She was a 15-year-old college student. She was like a legend to me. Like I've heard of stuff that like this, but the first time I saw her, like she was like 15, 16, college student. And I thought that was amazing. But other than that, it was very rare. So, you know, everything any one of us did was like magnified, especially if it was something positive. And rap was just my thing. It also from my high school basketball team, because we were on like shows like Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. We was on like Madison Square, MSG a lot. We was on ESPN. We was a public school, but we competed with a lot of the Catholic private schools, and that was a story in itself. And we was like a class where everybody that played had to have an 80 or above average, had to have at the time when SAT was just math and reading, you had to have a 1,600. We all had to have break 1,000 on our SATs. If we didn't satisfy those 2 requirements, we couldn't play. So that became a big story for us as public school students, who probably could have had an even better team if we didn't do the grades. If we just did like 65 and you can play, probably would have had an even more prominent team. But we definitely had to learn what it's like to commit and be diligent, you know what I mean? And that has really shaped me a lot. So as you can see, it's just so much more to me than just like me being a son of Red Alert. Like I've had like mad different like things go on in my, plus I ain't even not even talking about just personal life, you know what I mean? I have two daughters, kids, so much, 7 and 4, Riley and Journey. Journey already has promos for my pops on the radio. And, you know what I mean? And Riley loves her like artistic stuff, and she's come to the studio with me. I already bring them to the studio and expose them to recording and hearing themselves on a microphone, and you know, letting them see that their dad that what I call work is something that I love to do, and they can find what they love to do and make it work, their means of, you know, survival and providing for their family. So, you know, that's been really important to me too. And just kind of like I use everything I learned from hip hop and sports and just like life, you know, and I think that my story connects so much more to other artists. Like I have a lot to give back to other artists, to let them know kind of like, yo, I went through this too, you know what I mean? Or, you know, successful artists go through this too. Don't think you're the only person that felt like this. I spent like 4 years as a hip hop teacher. I was a hip hop specialist for Harlem Children's Zone, where I performed a big show for them too. I used to
And you were teaching them lyrics. I read about this. Yeah.
like song lyrics and break it down into like rhythm and I used to take song lyrics, right, and break it down into like metaphors, similes. I used to use like words for vocabulary. I used to use a lot of Lauryn Hill and Nas lyrics for the kids to just understand, just like point of view, like what point of view are they rapping, as this person rapping from? Are they talking about themselves? Are they talking about someone else? Are they talking from the inside out? Or are they looking Are they talking about themselves from the outside in? Why did they make this kind of reference? What happened? This reference, tell me about this reference. What happened this year? What is this reference about? You know what I mean? Sometimes Lauryn Hill has made some like very like highly educational references that kind of relate back to the history that the kids were doing in school. So it was like grades 4 through 8 I did. And I would like break down the song lyrics, break vocabulary down, simile. We would talk about all 5 origins of hip hop being rap, uh, rap, DJing, aerosol art, like graffiti, fashion. I did beatboxing with them. I did another one, something else with them. I also broke down like breakdancing. It break. So I did kind of like elements, but no, it's considered like 5. So one of them is like a hero there. I think like the fashion, one of them. But anyway, um, I was blessed to have Shirt King, Fade from Shirt King, come down and do some of his aerosol art on like his shirts.
Oh, that's fire. He did the Audio 2 shirts. If you look at the album cover from Audio 2, yeah, some legendary pieces of clothing.
I have some dope stuff from, oh, shit. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to show you some shit.
Yep, if you're tuning in right now, we're just waiting for MiMs. I think he's going to be showing something for everyone who's watching tonight. But if you're listening, just use your imagination.
So look, I have some dope.
Oh, that's fire. And you got the old school rope chain on there too. That's fire.
Yeah, it's done by Shirt King. Hey, do me good, G.
That's for you. That's you.
Cool Connection. Big Rob, Cool DJ Red Alert. So all 3 of us together, we consider ourselves the Cool Connection. So I'm Cool G, that's Cool DJ Red Alert, as you know, and Big Rob. And we were doing like parties, promotion. Rob was doing the promotion. I was the rapper. My pops was the DJ, and we used to do a lot of events. And this was a gift we had did for my pops. We had all 3 had one done made from Shirt King, Fade. We did it for my pop's birthday. It's one of my pop's birthdays.
That's fire.
I got all kind of I'm a little bit of a hip hop artifact, a little bit.
But you know what's sad, and thank God that you're here in the game, because the kids nowadays know nothing about this culture. Like the new music, it doesn't promote any of the artifacts. They don't know anything about the knowledge. They have to either have someone in their family that teaches them the stuff, which thank God, I mean, you teach your family members this and your children. But the music, it doesn't educate anything about the artifacts. DJing has changed. The fashion has changed. Everyone wears skinny jeans. The music, there's no more content and storytelling. It's so different.
Also, and it was since taken away from the fact that the music, the branding, the marketing of hip hop music has also taken away from the fact that hip hop is a life. Hip hop is more like a race. You know what I mean? Like no kidding. Like hip hop has a complete culture of that a race or racial group would. You know what I mean? And hip hop was a result of having nothing and making something out of nothing. Hip hop was a direct result of survival. You know what I mean? Of creating when you go back to the date. When they say hip hop started, 1973, 1974, something I taught my kids in high school, in their class, not in high school, when I was teaching my hip hop class. Hip hop started right after the president took he took the standardization of learning instruments out of schools, York schools, and once that was taken out, now you're not teaching us how to play instruments anymore. And what derived from that is things like hip hop. Music is in our soul. Like music is something that's gonna speak through us regardless. So what happens is we start to find new ways. We start you know what I mean? And I wasn't around during that time, but I understand it enough to say you can't stop the creation of music. You can't stop it. That's a part of our bodily function is music. Yeah. So, a lot of kids don't understand it because they came up in an era where it was already provided to them. It was already done for them. And listen, there's nothing wrong. They're gonna create something that they're gonna feel like that about when their kids start benefiting. They're gonna feel it. They're gonna know what it feels like. You know what I mean? But I know what it's like to have web TV. I know what it was like to have a gateway computer. I remember when Apple was Macintosh. You know what I mean? And the blue back. You know what I mean? I remember when fucking TVs and computers actually had like butts.
When radio stations actually played good music.
When DJs got to play the music that they really thought was good.
Yeah, and they didn't get to be forced to and be paid to play the garbage. Yeah.
Like, so that's I don't want to say I miss it because listen, these kids now and in the era, the game now, even me now, like we went through a pandemic. I've probably made more money through music than I've ever had this so far. You know what I mean? Like at least from sitting out and doing this, like without a show or performance involved, I'm talking about, like I've made music in ways that I've never made music with money. I made money in music in ways that I've never made money in music before. And that's kind of, it's great. It's great. And it opens up opportunities. It allows us to be able to all jump into music and not feel like it's overcrowded, right? For you artists that are listening, your aim doesn't always have to be being in a club or in a strip club or on the radio. There's music in movies. There's music that connects to toys. There's music that connects to all kinds of things that there's still a whole lot of money to be gained and gathered. And there are untapped areas where you can really set your own price. You know what I mean? There's music is required in almost every component of life or entertainment. You know what I mean? And there's enough room for success as there is like air to breathe. Like, you know what I mean? And just got to keep finding innovative ways. I'm all for it. I'm all for the growth of it and the change. Because if everybody can be originators, everyone would. We need our originators. We need our remake makers. We need our innovative people that are going to revolutionize the things that were pioneered. We need those different levels. We need records so that they can be broken. Yep. And I'm not so against it. You know what I mean? I'm not so against it. You know what I mean? I hate the whack records. I hate the terrible records, but it's music and this music is made, and if there are people that really like it, then so be it, you know? I'm not for encouraging people to make music like them any more so than I'm for encouraging them to rap like Kendrick, you know what I mean? But like Kendrick be Kendrick. Kendrick wouldn't be special as Kendrick if there was a bunch of, you know what I mean? Or maybe he would be, but just saying, like, you know, the uniqueness also allows us to appreciate someone like Kendrick and J. Cole, and those type of artists can still be the top selling artists. Like, as blown up as any one-hit wonder has been, the top artists remain the same. When they talk about who've been on Billboard for weeks upon weeks upon weeks, it's the quality crafted artists. You know what I mean? It's the quality craft. Those are the ones that last. It still works that way. It still stands the test of time. So, you know, just got to pay attention to those things and be a student in that manner and be a fan. Always remain being a fan. Like, I'm still a fan first. I still love this game first. I still wake up and wonder what's going on in the game. What happened? What's going on? Did you hear this? Did you hear that? What kind of music is this going to turn out to be? I'm still, you know, like that. Pardon me, I just checking my battery when I do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
And, that type of stuff just still get excited.
It's interesting because you're very versatile as an artist. You can jump on something such as Flavor in Your Air to making yours new flavor in respect to your cousin, and do something like Big Bag that's kind of trendy, but you're lyrical and you're doing your own thing at the same time on that.
Dope. Yeah. When I did Big Bag, I wanted to be myself. I didn't want it to sound like
Pop Smoke or Fabio. Yeah.
Glad you said it. Thank you.
Yep.
I appreciate them in the culture too, but I didn't want to be no copycat. Like, yo, I gotta kind of find my own pocket, and I don't know. I remember my man Double Nichols made the beat. And he's my DJ. He said something where we came up with the whoo. You do a lot of that. Bit riding, switch started. Whoo. You do a lot of that. Once I kind of caught that, I started just seeing mad pockets, and I figured out a way to still speak the way I like to speak and bring bars in it. And I was like, I don't know if people are gonna get the bars, but I know they'll at least get the simplicity side of it. You know what I mean? And it'll rock. But it's dope that people get it and they just go, nah, you put bars on a drill beat and you did it with like a drill flow instead of like, because I could have did it bad and looked like an extra lyrical rapper over a drill beat. Like I had no business doing a drill beat. And I said, no, what do
Yeah.
I'm dropping, I'm letting the hair go down like Max B. I'm taking the shirt off. I want to feel like Harlem drill. How this is going to be my version of Harlem drill. And I'm still a very like mellow dude. I'm not really yelling on records. I'm not really into that. So I think that was another difference because Pop Smoke has such a deep voice and Favi was real energetic, and a lot of drill music is really like aggressive vocals. And I'm a calm person. I'm cool G man. So I had to keep it cool, keep it cool and show that I could bounce on that and be entertaining. And that song was pretty good. Shout out to all the DJs that played it. They played all on the radio and all major platforms and radio stations. And the only thing that really affected it is not really being able to be outside, being in the club with it. But it was, I shot that video on my birthday. That was a fucking...
a blur. That day was such a blur.
But it was a great video. It was a great day. It was we broke all the COVID rules at that time. I had like a big cookout on my block and game and rolling dice, and they were shooting the vids, and the cops were great because they wasn't doing nothing violent. So
oh, thank God.
Shout out to the NYPD. I can't even hate on them because they did wonders and letting me get my work done as far as music stuff is concerned. Wish you man, just charge.
Are you putting the charger on?
Yeah. Yeah. So all I need is my chair. But yeah, man, that was pretty much most of the process with Big Bag. I just tried to do my thing in a way that was about the vibe, Big Bag, cash. No, yeah. So I try not to. So the worst question I hate, the question that I hate is when people ask me like, "Yo, what kind of rapper are you?" Because me, I think I'm a versatile rapper. I'm an artist. You know what I mean? I make music on experience. I make music on feeling. Like I want you to hear my music and feel something, or I want you to hear my music and get caught in a thought of maybe something I said creatively. Even if it is a club song, like, so I had a song that was really popular in the club called Pick It Up, right? And I said, Pop's a motherfucking legend to the old school. 30,000 riding in my old school. Said $30,000 with our old school. Fuck Sally Mae, I got the rent due. You know what I mean? Because I knew what it was like coming out of college. You know what I mean? I knew it was like owing $30,000 in loan money. And what that did is that inflicted a feeling. You know what I mean? When you said fuck Sally Mae for the rent due, you don't care that you're in a club. You don't care that you're in a car. It's just a feeling like, no, I know what that is. I mean, I don't know if it's Sally Mae anymore. I mean, if Sally Mae is the lender, for those who don't know, Sally Mae was a college loan lender. You know what I mean? When you got that Sally Mae bill, that meant you don't got no more deferment. Like, it's time to pay up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what Sally Mae meant. That forbearance and that deferment don't work no more. And it's time. And damn, I should call I should call one of my projects that. I should call it forbearance or deferment. Anyway, that was an experience. That wasn't about the beat. That wasn't about nothing. I wanted to inflict an emotion. And, to me, that's what I do music for. I don't like to really box myself in. And that's an answer that I hate. I think that's an answer that means you didn't look me up and you want me to tell you everything about me. And I really respect that you actually did some homework and you look me up and you're aware of a lot of these things. That means the world to me. That's really dope.
An artist that I'm really close with is also from Harlem. He comes from hip hop royalty as well. His father is DJ SNS. SNS, I saw you do the West Side Freestyle Challenge.
Yeah. That's my bro. SNS is my guy.
Yeah, he's been on my show a few times. Do you guys have any work together? Do you have any songs together? Yeah, because I know I've jumped on your live before. He shouted you out. He's always shouting you out on the page and stuff. And yeah.
We was in the studio like 2 weeks ago. We did a record. So we have a record coming out with who did the beat? Joey Vuitton did the beat. So, we're definitely going to do more. He came to the studio again, but we kind of got caught in the quarantine studios with Jim. But we're going to do some more work. He's a very close friend of mine. His dad is a very close friend of my dad. And, he's, hip-hop royalty, come from that same kind of story. Although mine was a little bit different from the radio standpoint, but SNS was a big
mixtape. He was more of a mixtape DJ.
But he still was really big deal. He's still a legend in his own way, and somebody I tip my hat to every time I see him. But S and I have always fellowship with our journey and our process. Somebody I love and care about, and I want to see him continue to do well. Love Come Down was a smash for him, and I'm just glad to see him still remain himself through all his platform, through all his experiences as well. Both had different ways of our own level of success, and we've gotten to meet at the quote unquote red carpet a couple of times, and I just look forward to it being many more and just like on higher stages as the stage increases. So that's my guy. I kind of know all of the hip hop kids, man, from Vina Love to
she's been on my show.
Square Off, I know them. I know Vina Love. I know Orange Star. I know Young Dirty Bastard. I know SNS. I know Diggy. Not Diggy. I know JoJo. I know man. I know so many, man. I know what's my man name?
Freaky Ka.
No, I don't know him.
Yeah, that's Freaky Ta's son from the Lost Boys. Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
I know. I may have met him though. I know. What's my man's name? Flavor Flav's son. I know Flavor. I know his daughter too.
Mm-hmm.
I know them all, man. I know them all. I'm not gonna lie. I know a lot of them. You know what I mean? I used to be really cool on like Facebook, cool with Diddy's sons. But I've met them. Met them a couple of times. Been in cross passing with them. Definitely. I seen King Combs on Davies tour. We chopped it up a little bit, and I used to be cool with his brother a lot on Facebook back in the days. And yeah, man, I've been around, man, all of them. I've been around all of them. Like sometimes I watch growing up hip hop and it's like, damn, I know their parents better than I know them sometimes. Some of them just as much as I know their parents. Like, you know what I mean? I know them just as much as I know their parents. And that's kind of dope, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's been pretty good, and it's good to kind of just keep them all close, because hopefully we can just all do something together that supports one another, create like our own like union, and just support one another the way and Scott LaRock Jr. Shout out to Scott LaRock Jr.
Yep. Rest in peace to Scott LaRock. Yeah, Boogie Down Productions.
Yes, rest in peace to Scott LaRock. And my boy Jay Prezi is the nephew to Roy Ayers.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, I know a couple people that have been in music, and I've been blessed to be around a couple people that have had parents in music as well. I try to stay close to them and learn and give whatever information I have back to them.
I'm curious to hear about your story with Max B, because I heard you say you met Max B before. What's the wave god like?
Max B, I met Max B in FDA Studios. He came with the big shades. In comes a guy with long, Chris Lighty brought him, I believe. Came with the long hair down. The same Max B you seen on TV is the same Max B in real life. Pants sagged down so low that I could see, pause. You could see the gap from like the top of his belt, and like still see in between his legs from like you could still like his pants. That's back when pants used to hang down so low. He was still doing like baggy jeans. His pants hung down so low, and he just was exactly what he called himself, the waviest dude in the world. You couldn't tell him nothing. He was fucking with Charles Hamilton at the time. He was doing some music with Charles Hamilton. And Charles Hamilton and Max B in their own right are two very unique individuals. I've always been like a fan of Max B. I'm a big, like I fan over like, not fan, like I'm a Gemini rapper. So I like really like, I love all Gemini artists, like all Gemini rappers. So Max B, Kanye, Biggie, Pac, East, Kendrick, Lauryn Hill, Andre 3000, Jada Kiss. Like I love them because I feel like I feel what they're saying. I feel what they're talking about. I feel the things that they go through. I think Gemini artists make up some of the most special, and including myself, some of the most special artists and some of the most special music that has been given to hip hop. You know what I mean? That's not named like Jay-Z, Michael Jackson, and Beyonce and stuff. Like Geminis have a very unique group of hip hop artists and musicians. So I'm always gonna love Max B for being a Gemini artist. He's from Harlem, so you know that always makes things better. He's very important to the culture and the style of what we call Harlem today.
Free Max B.
Free Max B.
Yeah, and I heard he's supposed to be getting out next year. I hope it's true.
Everybody's getting out, man. Everybody, excuse my kid toys, man. Everybody's getting out from.
Rowdy Rebel just got out yesterday.
Murder to be out soon. Yeah, many more. You know, free everybody that is gonna come out here and do better and be prosperous. And I'm not saying keep them in jail, but I'm for growth too, man. You know what I mean? I'm for growth. You know, even my friends that have gone to jail and gone back, you gotta be friends enough to tell them, yo, listen, man, when you come home, we want you to stay home. You know what I mean? We want to keep you here, man. Try to do things that's gonna keep you here, because people here that need you, it's people here that care about you, it's people here that rely on you being free. And it's important for them to know that. That's how you know you don't got a bunch of yes men who just want to tell you anything, be down for you to do anything, be down for you to, you know what I mean? People have a way of, we have friends that have a way of only loving us for our struggling self. You know what I mean? And you might not mean it, but anything other than me being my struggling self or my struggling habit is me changing or I'm acting brand new. Or maybe I need some change because what I've been living through ain't suitable for what I call life. And you know, can't be afraid to push that envelope on our friends and the ones that we care about, and challenge them to improve themselves. And so I challenge everybody to come home, to level up more than they've ever been, and stay home and stay free for the ones that care about them and root for them. Word. Big fact.
What was your go-to Craig Mack album? Was it Project Funk the World, or was it Operation Get Down?
It was, I mean, I knew more about Funk the World.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I knew more about Funk the World. And for me, with my cousin Craig Mack, you know, he wasn't really it was a point where he really wanted to get far away from the game. And that made me kind of grow far away from his music because he wasn't that prideful of it anymore. Maybe he's prideful, but he wasn't as, you know, he kind of switched. He kind of went, how people joke on Mace, like pastorish. He really went spiritual, and, you know, he must have really experienced some things in this game that even maybe I haven't seen yet. You know what I mean? Even my boy Fred used to tell me stuff all the time about things in this game that you get exposed to that can really discourage you, and it'll kind of almost meet the expectations of the myths that we hear about hip hop and in hip hop. So, you know, I knew more about Funk the World, honestly, and that was more prevalent to what my family was listening to, the era of time when my family was heavy listening to him. And when I got older, yeah, still more Funk the World. Still more Funk the World.
Yeah.
Honestly. What about you?
Funk the World, yeah.
Yeah, Funk the World.
Yeah. My favorite song off is That Y'all. I like that one.
Yeah. That's dope. I fuck with that. I fuck with that. I chose the burn. I got a thing for like saxophone sounds.
Oh, Get Down, is that the one?
No. The reason why I chose Flavor in Your
Oh,
Ear.
it's Flavor in Your Ear, because I remember in the beginning when he does on the intro to Get Down, he's like, you know, I want to hear that boom, boom.
Yeah. So like, it's almost like that same thing. Like I got that same like thing. Like I like that when I've always wanted to do Flavor in Your Ear in particular, but I thought about doing like some like B-side records. I had thought about doing one of his B-side records also because I thought I can go further with the sampling passing rights. But luckily I knew Easy Mo B, and he was very supportive of my record. Shout out to Easy Mo B.
He's a legend too. Yeah.
Big legend. So you know, and shout out to DJ Premier too. I've been shouting DJs out. I ain't shout my man DJ Premier out. DJ Cut, man. A lot of DJs that came out and did their thing for me, man. And shit. Yeah, so Funk the World. My favorite Jungle Brothers album is Straight Out the Jungle. My favorite rapper was Mace. My favorite female artist was Lauryn Hill. My favorite DJ, believe it or not, was actually Kid Capri growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like my pops was, he's the greatest to me, but like when he was he's my dad, so I didn't really see him in the same. It wasn't the same kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Kid Capri and like Jazzy Jeff. I know Jazzy Jeff is my pop's favorite DJ. I think when you ask my pops, he says the best DJ ever is Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince DJ. So you know, that's kind of dope. All right, What's the next question?
What B-side record are you thinking of doing for Craig Mack if you do it? You got Judgment Day, Real Raw, Making Moves with Puff.
It just depends on the producer. You know what I mean? It's the same factor. It's all about the producer that I work with. You know what I mean? It's not really even about the song. It's about or even the concept. It's more about the producer that can. Because some producers may just like take a part of the beat and sample it or loop it. I don't know if I want that. I want it kind of be recreated. I want the feel to be recreated. So it just depends on what song, because any of them can be changed. Like it's not like I would rap onto it at that tempo that those songs are. So, I was gonna give you an example. One of them, but I don't want to do it wrong. I don't want to mess up my man's song. But the point is, I want to. It just depends on what fits the producer best. I'm probably gonna do it with my man Hassan. And when I do it, you'll be the first. You'll be the first one to have it.
Oh, I appreciate that.
You'll be the first one to have it. You'll be the first one to have it. That's dope. I'm gonna make sure I let you know. But I haven't really decided yet. I'd be lying and being completely like PR-ish to tell you a song and not be true.
Do you have it on vinyl? Funk the World?
Shit, yeah, I'll probably do. I don't know. Yep.
You have it?
How do I fix this? Oh, there I go.
There you go, yep.
Look at this, man. Look at this. Let me show you something.
Oh, you got the Great Adventures. I got that one. Slick Rick, yeah.
So look who's that right there. It's like Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes, yeah.
This stuff goes for like, look at this. Got music.
CD.
Yes. Missy Elliott. I got all this stuff. Benzino. You name it. I really have like this. I live in like a hip hop library. Look, even down to this.
Cassette tapes. Wow.
You name it, I have it. DVDs, vinyls. Yeah. Jamie Foxx and Ludacris.
Oh.
Look at this, man. I have an embarrassment of luxury when it comes to like this music stuff, man. I have all of this stuff, bro. All the time.
It's a hip hop museum.
I live in a hip hop museum, 110%.
Those are all your father's records, right?
Yeah, but what's his is mine. What's his is mine, you know. So I just use that as now all that stuff is in computers and stuff. But yeah, I do. I have vinyls, I have all that stuff.
I have a small vinyl collection. I'm still looking for Craig Mack's Funk the World though. There's a few I want out there.
I'm asking my pops if he has it. I'm asking. Yo, Red. Let me see. Yo, Red. You have Funk the World vinyl? You have Craig Mack's Funk the World in vinyl?
Not here.
Not here, probably in Atlanta, right? Yeah, so it's somewhere. It's in the South. yeah, we have it then. We have it.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire. I'm actually gonna show you something for the audience, just something special here. I know you're gonna like it though. I know you're gonna like it. There we go. Because it is your cousin. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's fire. Did you see the picture at the end of my video at the end?
Yeah, I saw that.
See that? That's the remix. So that's
the remix. Yeah, I call that the greatest hip hop remix of all time from a hip hop song.
That's definitely, if not the one up, it's definitely up there. So what I also try to do with that video is I tried to combine both the old version and the new version. That's why I did like but I kind of did my version of like a colorful backdrop because the original already had the white backdrop. So I was like, let me add color. It's a new era. I'm gonna add color, new flavor. But I did the photo shoot room like as a homage to that part. And yeah, that's fine. That's great. That's a great photo.
Yeah,
great
yeah,
photo.
that's a classic. Yeah, I'll show that again if people are, there's a little glare, I know, with the zoom and everything, but yeah.
Hold on, I got a good one. You got me started. Hold on, I got a good one for you.
Yeah, I'm a real hip hop head, so.
Oh yeah, then you're gonna love this one. You're gonna love this one, then. Have you ever heard of Where is it? I got this case. But you understand if you get deported because of the got a good one. Hold up. I'm looking for someone who used to be on the inside. Just set up my pictures, but I'm gonna show you. Anyway. Good photo. This was good. This is what life used to be like for me when I was young in the radio station. I used to view people like this guy.
Ice Cube. Wow.
And the FUBU shirt, and you see the FUBU.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
FUBU. Might not find none of this ever again.
That's classic. Now, how old were you there?
I had to be about 11, 12. Yep, 11, 12.
Is that like your favorite photo that you've taken as a young kid?
Yeah, that was a dope one. I probably have some others. But as a kid, Ice Cube meant like, he was in all the movies and shit. You know what I mean? Like, he was just like, but he like received me very like, well, like, you know what I mean? I didn't like, it was not too many people I came across where it was like, oh, that's such and such. A lot of people kind of was like, oh, that's what's his name. That's cool. But for me, Ice Cube was one of those like, that's Ice Cube. Like, you know what I mean? I need to, that's Ice Cube. I want to meet him type thing. And even I remember during that time, maybe even that same day, I might have met Jay-Z that day. But it wasn't, at the time, Jay-Z wasn't Jigga. It was still like, I probably had it was like 10, because this had to be about 97, 98. That picture's 97, 98. Around that time, 97, 98. So Jay-Z wasn't Jigga yet. He still was kind of like emerging. Mace was still the biggest deal. And Biggie just passed, and More Money, More Problems is 99. And Jay-Z's just starting to kind of like, so I remember meeting Jay-Z, and it didn't mean as much at the time to me. And then I remember like sitting down and doing Method Man Let Me Sit with him and Angie Martinez during his Judgment Day album signing in 97. I might have a photo from there somewhere in Atlanta, somewhere. Atlanta's our second home. So I refer to Atlanta every now and then because that's where, we keep all the.
And that Judgment Day album is a great one for Method Man. He even has Left Eye on there from TLC.
From on that album. Judgment Day is a slept on album. I thought Judgment Day was a good album, especially by Method Man, and Judgment Day was a dope album. And these artists used to do a lot of leaving us notes on things that was going on in the world. Like even I was listening to Busta Rhymes, Drink Champs, and listening to just the thought process behind his album titles and just how much he was into what was going on in the future and the New World Orders and all of this stuff. He was so informed. And, these artists, us as artists, we do try to leave jewels in our own way as to what we see is going on in the world and how the world is shifting. And, that's just dope shit. Just dope shit.
Mm-hmm. And anything else you want to say to the audience here tonight, man? Any upcoming records that you have? I know you're working on a new project.
Yeah, so, don't forget the Dollar Sign is coming out. I have a freestyle that's supposed to be coming out today on called Bar Session with my man Gray Rizzy. Please go get all my records that I dropped this this year. Get them on Apple Music, Apple Store, iTunes Store, wherever. Spotify. Check my website out, coolgmims.com, www.coolgmims.com. It's cool with a K. Hit me on Instagram. I would love to come out to St. John's whenever outside opens up and come perform and rap and vibe with you guys. Please hit me up. Feel free to, let me know anything I can be a part of. And for all you artists that's listening, man, stay encouraged, stay blessed, stay vibrant, stay positive, stay creative. You know what I mean? There is no such thing as a writer's block. It's just you second guessing your thoughts. You know what I mean? Be free. Understand that this world is your canvas. Love one another, and don't forget the dollar sign. Know your worth. When I say don't forget the dollar sign, it's not like a cheesy just go get money. It's for you to remind yourself that you're worth something, that you're worth more. You know what I mean? Don't forget to go out and get what you deserve and what you earn. If you declare it yours, go get it. Don't forget the dollar sign, you know what I mean? And that's what that means. So, embed that mentality. I have some merch coming out soon. Oh, yeah, my pops, if you want to support my pops, Prop Master Retro, DJ Red Alert, merch, djredalert.bigcartel.com, coolgmims.com. Hit me up. We'll be coming out with a project, 3 EPs in the first 2 quarters. They're going to be dope. Production from the Heatmakers, production from Hassami, production from Double Nickel, Scram Jones. Good features. Shout out to my man Axel Leon. Shout out to Drama B2R. Shout out to Fred the Godson. Shout out to Dub Aura. Shout out to SNS. Shout out to Roundtable Experience. That's my promotion party team. If you're ever looking for an event, hit up the Roundtable Experience on Instagram or follow the hashtag Experience the Experience. We do all kinds of things, man. I'm a part of all types of giving back. We give back to the community, drip drives, Christmas donations, live donations. So, stay in tune with me. We give back with the churches. We give back. We support Black communities. We support Black businesses. We support all brands, all race businesses. Tap in if you're in Harlem, if you're in New York. Tap in with me. I got a studio right in the Diamond District. I'm down to work for all serious inquiries. And love is love. Don't forget the dollar. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no doubt. And like I said, I'm going to get you back on the gram too, and we're going to stay connected, and I'll let you know any opportunities that come up at St. John's, especially with the performances now in COVID-19. I know we're probably not going to have performances probably till the end of 2021 now that the vaccine's coming out. So
I'll keep myself hotter and hotter to make sure it's still relevant. Shout out to Nino Man. Nino Man is also a big rapper of St. John's University, man.
Yeah.
Nino Man, a rapper from Harlem. He's a big, he's right down, he's from not too far from me. And he's a big St. John's, St. John's stepper. So thank you guys for having me. Thank you for allowing me on this platform. And I look forward to coming back.
No doubt. I'm looking forward to the new music though. That's what I'm looking for.
It's gonna come. So yeah, I'm gonna send you some stuff on the exclusive note though. I'm gonna create a nice rapport with you where I start just sending you some stuff on the back end and getting your feedback. And, that just kind of helps create futures in our, relationship. I would love to continue to build with you and tap into you as things grow and expand for the both of us.
Yeah, I'm down, man. I'm down. I support whatever you do because you keep it real with the lyrics and, you're hip hop royalty at the same time, but that's not the main reason. It's that you're a dope artist and you care about the culture and you're growing in a time where the culture is so different and it's not as relatable to me otherwise and the real hip hop out there.
It's different. It's relatable to me because I get it, but I understand both ends though. You know what I mean? I understand both ends and I appreciate that recognition. I hope to continue to do more and further validate every stance you make for artists like me, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming on the show. This will be dropping on YouTube tomorrow as well, even though we're live on WSJU Radio on the TuneIn app, as well as around the university. I want you to take care and enjoy the holidays. You got Christmas coming up in the new year.
Right, yeah, thank you, man. And definitely shout out to all the students out there working and staying focused out there. I know I said I dropped out of college. I don't want to encourage anyone to just drop out of college. You know what I mean? I respect what you guys do. I definitely think college has its necessities, their crafts, and their things to be masters at that comes with school and learning the discipline of accessing your resources to learn and educate ourselves. So school is definitely necessary. It's just for what I wanted, it wasn't as necessary. So shout out to all the students there tapped in. Stay safe. You know what I mean? Take care of your family, take care of your loved ones, and make sure you get across that stage for people like me who are rooting for you all.
And let them know where they can follow you on Instagram and Twitter. That's most important.
Oh man, you can follow me on Instagram, cool GMims, cool with a K. KOOLGMIMS. And if you're a student, right, if anyone that's listening, if you're a student at St. John's, DM me, because what I will do is I will give you a discount on any merch that you guys might want. I have some GMims hoodies, so don't forget the $sign hoodies that haven't even, just DM me and I'll send you like a print of them and you can pick which one you want. I'll give you a discount off and mail it to you. That would be dope. If you go to St. John's, it's just a special St. John's. You got to DM me and tell me you went to St. John's, though, and I got you. It's lit.
Yeah, watch. You'll get someone from Syracuse or UConn, and it'll say, yeah, I went to St. John's. You look at their bio, and it says UConn 21.
Well, if you have a college, if you're in college, if you're a student in college, hit me up. It starts with St. John's, though, first, you know what I mean? But if you're at another college and you're listening, hit me up and send me. For any college students. I'll expand it to college students. Hit me up and I'll send you some merch. I'll send you some exclusive music, maybe even exclusive video on like a USB drive and everything. So to help you entertain you while you working and doing your thing. Shout out the.
Thanks again, man. I appreciate you coming on the show. Like I said, have a good night. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Thank you.
Yep.